Okay, this is one other thing I wanted to do. I'm gonna play you your motor video, and I want to cover a couple things with you as we go through this. Okay, so there's a few things I don't have the audio on, not hugely important. So let's see. Okay, so you start, and we're gonna talk about path of travel. There's just a couple spots. There's a lot to talk about, but one of the things I want to cover with you is. So first of all, just take a look at that. As you can see, I always say steer to the outside cone. You had a lot more room there. You can see right there. I know that can be scary, but you need to start getting used to using the whole pattern right there. You have an extra foot. Yes, we don't want to hit any bases of the cones. I get it, but you have extra room. I'm just saying you're not using the whole pattern. The other thing I talk about, same thing here. Look where you're turning in. You're turning in right where the arrow is. Look how much more real estate you have. And notice, especially right here, take a look at this. If you know how I talk about road racing, this thing where you turn back on yourself to set up for the next section. If you notice right here, you're steering, you're going straight. Look at that. That's like a 45 right into this pattern. If that were a tighter section, you'd be hitting cones right there. But if you swung out, take a look at the real estate you have on the right-hand side of your bike right there. If you would have kept your turning movement, or I should say better, swing out further than there, start turning back on yourself, stay tight to the right. Now you'd be coming in at this section at a much better angle versus right there. You're pretty kind of like you're not road raced into it. You're not pointed really down. Look where the pattern goes, and look at, you still really haven't completed your turning movement at all. And I'm not criticizing you. I'm just trying to find how we can make you better. That's all. So I think you're a damn good rider, and you did fantastic. You didn't hit anything. So please don't take offense. Same thing. Take a look at where your wheel is and how much real estate you still have. And remember, we talk about making this kind of more like a balloon, maybe. You're using the whole pattern, in a circular motion, which is okay. But I do like, see, you're back there. You're up off the seat there. That's excellent. You are up over the bike. The balance ball concept, I think, is going to pay dividends in spots. But so once we're out of here, you're dropping into another section. So here is again, where that road race stuff is going to matter, because look at the angle that you have going through here. You could be, this is kind of tight, I get it. But for me, I would be further over to the left-hand cone right there. And even right here, I probably would have stayed turning left to swing out a little more to the left so that I'm not going directly in the middle of this thing. I want to be a little bit to the left. Over here, I want to be a little further right. And then right here, see that cone you're right there on the right-hand side? You're pretty damn close to that. Where it really starts to bite you in the ass is, take a look at this. Look at that. You're at a 90 to that left-hand turn. See, so through these chicanes, you started losing ground to where by the time you finally got out of them, look at that. Look at that angle. We don't want that angle, because this is not a tight section in a comp pattern. But if depending on where this was going, it would have bit you in the ass. But you can see they pushed the cones out a little and made a nice, comfortable sweeping left there. So you got lucky there based on where it is. But that's not the angle we want. We want something more like where the arrows are pointed, more like that. It would have made it a lot easier. And again, you would have hit cones if this would have been a really tight pattern. So we get through this. One of the things I want to point out here, what's this? It's a straightaway. Accelerate. But take a look at when you come through here, your momentum. Watch. So we're eating up the clock. You're not picking up speed. You should be picking up speed through all this stuff. This is an offset cone weave. But right there, all that, you should be accelerating nice and hard. We want to win. We want to go fast. We don't just want to get through the pattern. Let the other guys just get to the pattern, but you win these things with a stopwatch, okay? So you could be accelerating a lot harder, getting more over the bike, covering the front brake so that when you do accelerate in those sections, you can slow the bike down pretty quick. All this right here, accelerate, accelerate, accelerate. Look, we're just cruising through here, which is, again, it gets you through it, but put a stopwatch on this thing. I'm going to beat you a tenth here, half a second there, all this stuff. Right here also, one other thing, remember, where are we going? So you're going to this chute here. You see, that's a tight technical spot. If you would have set up, if you would have come through here a little further left, stay locked right, and been more in this area here, this pattern would have been much easier because you would have been set up more of a straight line right through here than the direction you ended up. So look, you're coming at it at a diagonal. You're just going like straight here. We want to swing out like an S so that we're out here, and then we have a much better angle when we drop back in. So that angle, again, is pretty tight as it's going left. So pretty tricky. Again, this pattern isn't super tight, but you got to watch that in order to get through these things faster and smoother, especially as the patterns get harder.